First contact, first strike. The stars had always seemed peaceful to Captain Maya Chen. That changed the day the Valorians arrived. Maya stood on the bridge of the EDF Relentless, humanity's first true interstellar warship. Her dark eyes reflected the holographic display showing Mars' colony, now nothing but a smoking crater. 12,000 colonists. Gone in seconds. Status report, she demanded, her voice cutting through the stunned silence of the bridge. Lieutenant Commander Jackson cleared his throat. 7 alien vessels detected, Captain. Their energy signatures they're unlike anything we've ever seen. The Mars defense grid didn't even slow them down. They're broadcasting on all frequencies, Communications Officer Patil announced, her fingers dancing across her console. Translators are working. It's a message. A harsh, metallic voice filled the bridge. Attention primitive species. This system is now property of the Valorian Empire. Your resources are claimed. Your technology is inadequate. Your resistance is futile. Surrender or be eradicated. Maya's jaw tightened. Tactical analysis. Their ships outgun us at least 10-1, Weapons Officer Rodriguez reported. But our quantum shield technology appears to be something they haven't encountered before. They're scanning us intensively. Maya nodded. The quantum shield generator was humanity's ace, a technological breakthrough that had transformed theoretical physics into practical defense. The QSG created a bubble of altered spacetime around the ship, making it nearly impervious to conventional weapons. They're moving toward Earth, Captain, Navigation Officer Yates warned. Estimated arrival in 30 minutes. Maya felt the weight of command pressing down on her shoulders. The Relentless was supposed to be on its maiden voyage, a shakedown cruise to Jupiter and back. Instead, they were now humanity's first and possibly last line of defense against an alien invasion. All hands, battle stations, she ordered, her voice steady despite the fear clawing at her throat. Navigation, plot an intercept course. Weapons, bring the particle cannons online. The bridge crew exchanged nervous glances. The particle cannons were experimental technology, never fired outside of controlled tests. Captain, Executive Officer Commander Takahashi said quietly beside her, perhaps we should consider retreating to Earth, coordinating with the rest of the fleet. Maya shook her head. Earth's fleet consists of atmospheric fighters and orbital platforms. If these Valorians reach our homeworld, it's over. We need to buy time. She turned to address the entire bridge. Listen up. We're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for every human who has ever lived, and every human who might one day be born. The Relentless may be outgunned, but we have something the Valorians don't. What's that, Captain? Asked a young ensign, fear evident in his voice. Maya smiled grimly. Humanity has faced extinction before. From disease, from climate catastrophe, from our own weapons. Each time, we've adapted, survived, and pushed forward. We don't surrender. We overcome. The ship hummed as its engines powered up, accelerating to intercept the alien armada. Incoming transmission from Earth Defense Command, Patil announced. Admiral Wong's face appeared on the main screen, lines of worry etched deeply into his weathered features. Captain Chen, you are ordered to fall back. The Relentless is too valuable to lose. With respect, Admiral, if Earth falls, nothing else matters, Maya replied. The Relentless was built for this moment. Let us do our job. Wong's expression hardened, then softened with resignation. Very well, Captain. What's your plan? The Valorians haven't faced our quantum technology. We're going to show them why humanity isn't to be underestimated. She cut the transmission with a gesture and turned to her crew. Tactical, target the lead Valorian vessel. Engineering, divert all non-essential power to the QSG and weapon systems. As the Relentless approached the alien fleet, Maya studied their formation. The Valorians moved with machine-like precision, their vessels arranged in a perfect geometric pattern. They're scanning us again, Rodriguez reported. Energy buildup detected in their forward weapons arrays. Hold course, Maya ordered. Let them come to us. The lead Valorian ship fired first, a blinding beam of energy that struck the Relentless head-on. The bridge lights flickered as the quantum shield absorbed the impact. Shields holding at 92%, reported Engineering Officer Lai from her station. The QSG is performing beyond expected parameters. Maya allowed herself a small smile. Return fire. Target their propulsion systems. The Relentless's particle cannons discharge, lances of brilliant blue energy slicing through space toward the Valorian vessel. To everyone's surprise, the beams passed directly through the alien shields, tearing into the ship's hull. Direct hit, Rodriguez exclaimed. Their shields, our particles passed right through them, as if they weren't there. The damaged Valorian ship listed to one side, venting atmosphere and debris. The remaining alien vessels immediately altered their formation, moving to protect their wounded companion. They're adapting, Takahashi warned. Changing shield frequencies. And now they know we can hurt them. Maya added. All hands brace for impact. The Valorian response was immediate and overwhelming. Multiple energy beams converged on the Relentless, battering its quantum shields. Shields at 63%, Lai reported, her voice tense. QSG temperature rising beyond safe parameters. Maya gripped the arms of her command chair. Evasive maneuvers. Pattern Delta 9. The Relentless twisted and turned, banking hard to avoid the concentrated fire. But there were too many Valorian ships, too many weapons tracking them. Another hit rocked the vessel, sending crew members sprawling across the bridge. Shields at 47%. Lai called out. Captain, we can't take much more of this. Maya's mind raced. They'd discovered a weakness in Valorian defenses, but they couldn't outgun the entire fleet. They needed a different approach. Navigation. Set course for the asteroid belt, she ordered. Maximum speed. Captain, Yates questioned. Just do it. Communications. Send a coded transmission to Earth Defense Command. Valorian shields vulnerable to quantum-phased particles. Modify all weapons accordingly. As the Relentless accelerated toward the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, the Valorian ships pursued, continuing their relentless assault. Engineering. I need more power to the engines, Maya demanded. I'm giving it everything we've got, Captain, Lai responded, diverting power from life support on lower decks. The ship shuddered as another blast struck them from behind. Shields at 31%, Lai reported grimly. QSG approaching critical levels. They were nearly at the asteroid belt now, a chaotic region of space filled with rocks ranging from the size of pebbles to small moons. Navigation on my mark. Execute maneuver Icarus, Maya ordered. Yates paled. Captain, that maneuver hasn't been tested outside of simulations. No time like the present, Maya replied with a tight smile. Mark. The Relentless suddenly cut its main engines and fired its lateral thrusters, sending the ship into a controlled spin while maintaining its forward momentum. As they entered the asteroid belt, the pursuing Valorian ships followed, directly into Maya's trap. Now, Rodriguez, weapons free. Target the largest asteroids in their path. The particle cannons fired again, not at the Valorian ships, but at several massive asteroids. The energized particles superheated the rocks, causing them to explode into thousands of deadly fragments that peppered the alien vessels. Direct hits across their fleet, Rodriguez reported with satisfaction. Their formation is breaking up. Maya wasn't finished yet. Navigation. Use the asteroids for cover. Tactical. Continue targeting their propulsion systems. We may be outgunned, but we're not outthinking them. The Relentless wove through the asteroid field with a precision that would have been impossible without its advanced eye-assisted navigation systems. The Valorian ships attempted to follow but lacked the maneuverability of the human vessel in the cluttered environment. Captain, I'm detecting energy buildups in all remaining Valorian ships, Rodriguez warned. They're charging weapons. Wait, they're not targeting us. On screen, Maya ordered, dread pooling in her stomach. The holographic display showed the Valorian ships turning away from the asteroid belt, realigning their weapons toward a new target, Earth. They're going to fire on Earth from here, Takahashi realized aloud. A coordinated long-range assault. Maya's hands tightened into fists. Not if we can help it. Lie, status of the QSG. Critical but functional, Captain. 1, maybe 2 more major hits before failure. Maya nodded, her decision made. All hands, secure for maximum acceleration. Engineering, route all power, including life support and artificial gravity, to engines and the QSG. Navigation, plot a direct intercept course. The bridge crew stared at her in shock. You heard me, Maya said firmly. They want to attack our home. They'll have to go through us first. As the artificial gravity disengaged, Maya felt herself floating from her chair, held in place only by her safety harness. Around her, the bridge crew secured themselves as best they could. Course plotted, Yates reported. Intercept in 30 seconds at maximum acceleration. Execute, Maya ordered. The holographic display flickered, showing not the cold void of space, but a new vessel, unlike either human or Valorian design. It was massive, easily dwarfing even the largest Valorian ships, its hull covered in what appeared to be crystalline structures that pulsed with internal light. What the hell is that? Takahashi whispered. Before anyone could answer, the mysterious vessel accelerated toward their position at impossible speed, covering the vast distance from Neptune to the asteroid belt in seconds. Valorian vessels are breaking formation, Rodriguez reported, surprise evident in his voice. They're retreating. The bridge crew watched in stunned silence as the alien armada that had so confidently invaded their system turned and fled from the newcomer. Captain, Paddle said, her voice shaking, we're receiving a transmission from the new vessel. It's in English. Maya nodded, her mouth suddenly dry. Let's hear it. A voice unlike any human voice filled the bridge, musical yet powerful, conveying both ancient wisdom and youthful curiosity. People of Earth, we have watched and waited. The time of isolation ends. The time of joining begins. The counterattack. 3 days after humanity's first battle with the Valorian Empire, Captain Maya Chen stood in the center of Earth Defense Command's Situation Room, surrounded by holographic displays of the solar system. Red markers indicated the current position of the Valorian fleet, which had retreated to the orbit of Saturn following the arrival of the mysterious vessel. The alien ship calls itself the Arbiter, Admiral Wong explained to the assembled military leaders. Or rather, its occupants do. They claim to be representatives of something called the Galactic Concord, and we're just taking their word for it. General Santos asked skeptically. They did save our asses, Maya pointed out. The Valorians were about to glass Earth before the Arbiter showed up. Wong nodded. According to our new friends, the Valorians have violated numerous Concord treaties by attacking an emerging spacefaring civilization. Apparently, there are rules about these things. Maya studied the holographic representation of the Arbiter that hovered above the central table. The crystalline vessel had taken up position between Earth and the Valorian fleet, a shimmering barrier between humanity and extinction. What do they want from us? She asked the question on everyone's mind. They say they want nothing, Wong replied. But they've provided us with technical data, specifications that could help us upgrade our defenses against Valorian weapons. They claim it's reparation for the Concord's failure to prevent the attack. The room erupted in discussion, military leaders arguing about whether to trust the mysterious benefactors. Maya tuned them out, focusing instead on the tactical display. The Valorians hadn't left the system. They were waiting, gathering their strength. But for what? She activated a private communication channel to the Relentless, now docked at the lunar shipyard for urgent repairs. Commander Takahashi, status report. Takahashi's tired face appeared on her wrist display. Repairs proceeding around the clock, Captain. The QSG is being recalibrated with the new specifications from the Arbiter. Particle cannons should be back online within 48 hours. And the crew? Morale is high, all things considered. Everyone's working double shifts. They know what's at stake. Maya nodded. Keep me updated. Chen out. She returned her attention to the ongoing debate just as Admiral Wong slammed his hand on the table for silence. Enough. We don't have the luxury of debating this. The Valorians destroyed Mars colony and nearly wiped out Earth. If the Arbiter is offering help, we take it. He turned to Maya. Captain Chen, your ship detected a vulnerability in Valorian shields. Combined with the Arbiter's technical data, do you believe we can mount an effective counterattack? All eyes turned to her. Maya took a deep breath. Yes, sir. The Valorians weren't expecting our quantum-phased particles to penetrate their shields. They've likely adapted by now, but the principles in the Arbiter's data suggest we can modify our approach to stay one step ahead. She stepped forward, highlighting the Valorian fleet on the display. They're regrouping, but they're also vulnerable. They expected an easy conquest and encountered unexpected resistance. We need to strike before they fully recover. With what? General Santos scoffed. The Relentless is our only ship with the necessary technology, and it's currently in pieces. Not anymore. Wong interjected. The lunar and orbital shipyards have been working round the clock implementing the Arbiter's specifications. 6 vessels have already been retrofitted with prototype quantum shield generators and modified weapons systems. Maya's eyebrows rose in surprise. 6 ships in 3 days. That's impossible. The Arbiter provided manufacturing techniques we've never seen before, Wong explained. And they've been helping. Their drones have been assisting in the retrofit process. An uneasy murmur spread through the room. The implied technological gap between humanity and the Concorde was unsettling. Captain Chen, Wong continued, given your experience with both Valorian tactics and our new quantum technology, I'm placing you in command of this strike force. Your mission is to push the Valorians out of our system. Maya felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders again. Understood, Admiral. When do we depart? As soon as the Relentless is combat-ready, the other ships will be ready to rendezvous at Jupiter's orbit in 36 hours. As the meeting adjourned, Maya found herself approached by a tall, elegant woman she didn't recognize. Dark-skinned with silver-white hair that seemed too striking to be natural. Captain Chen. The woman greeted her with a slight accent Maya couldn't place. I am Dr. Aisha Mbiki, cynobiologist. I've been studying the limited data we have on Valorian physiology from recovered fragments at Mars. And, Maya prompted, curious. They're not what they appear to be. Dr. Mbiki's voice dropped to a near whisper. The Valorians aren't a naturally evolved species. They show signs of extensive genetic engineering, modifications that go beyond anything we've seen before. Maya frowned. What are you suggesting? I don't know yet, but there's something else you should know. Dr. Mbiki glanced around to ensure they weren't overheard. The Arbiter, their representatives requested biological samples from various Earth species, including humans. Samples? For what purpose? They claimed it was to help calibrate their medical systems in case we required assistance. Mbiki's expression made it clear she wasn't convinced. Just be careful out there, Captain. We may be caught between forces we don't fully understand. With that cryptic warning, Mbiki departed, leaving Maya with more questions than answers. 36 hours later, the Relentless led a small fleet of Earth vessels toward the waiting Valorian armada. Maya stood on her newly repaired bridge, studying the tactical display. 6 ships against 23. Takahashi observed quietly beside her. Not great odds. Quality over quantity, Commander, Maya replied with more confidence than she felt. Our ships have been upgraded with Arbiter technology. The Valorians won't know what hit them. Captain, Patel called from her station. The Arbiter is hailing us. On screen. The main display shifted to show what appeared to be a human face, or nearly human. The being had iridescent skin that shifted colors subtly as it spoke, and eyes with vertical pupils like a cat's. "Captain Chen." The being greeted her. "I am Liaison Zara of the Galactic Concord. We will be observing your engagement with the Valorian aggressors." "Observing?" Maya questioned. "Not participating. The Concord cannot directly intervene in conflicts beyond maintaining quarantine boundaries. The Valorians violated those boundaries by entering your system uninvited. We prevented them from destroying your homeworld, but the defense of your system ultimately falls to you." Maya's jaw tightened. "Convenient rules." Zara's expression remained impassive. "They are necessary rules, Captain. Species must prove their readiness to join the wider galactic community. Consider this your proving ground." The transmission ended abruptly. "So we're lab rats in some cosmic experiment," Rodriguez muttered from tactical. "No," Maya corrected him. "We're human beings fighting for our home. Whether anyone's watching or not doesn't change that." She addressed the entire bridge, battle stations, and opened a channel to the fleet. As her crew prepared for combat, Maya faced the fleet-wide transmission. "This is Captain Chen to all Earth vessels. Today we fight not just for our survival, but for our place among the stars. The Valorians came to our home expecting to find an easy conquest. Instead, they found humanity, stubborn, resourceful, and unwilling to go quietly into the night. Today we show them, and anyone else watching, exactly what that means." She nodded to Patil to end the transmission, and then turned to her navigation officer. "Lieutenant Yates, take us in." The Earth fleet accelerated toward the waiting Valorian armada, which began to spread into an attack formation. "They're powering weapons," Rodriguez reported. "Hold course," Maya ordered. "Wait for them to commit." The Valorian ships fired first, a coordinated barrage of energy beams that converged on the approaching human vessels. "Shields holding at 93%. Lai reported from engineering with satisfaction. "The modifications are working." "All ships, execute maneuver Delta," Maya commanded. "Weapons free. Target their propulsion systems." The remaining Earth vessels, their quantum shields flickering back to life, rallied to the attack. Their combined firepower converged on the destabilized Valorian flagship, tearing through its weakened defenses. The massive alien vessel began to break apart, secondary explosions rippling across its surface. As its core detonated, a shockwave of energy radiated outward, temporarily disrupting communications across the battlefield. When the interference cleared, Maya saw that the remaining Valorian ships had fallen into disarray, their coordinated attack patterns dissolving into individual survival tactics. "They're retreating," Rodriguez confirmed, amazement in his voice, "breaking orbit and accelerating toward the outer system." A ragged cheer went up across the bridge. Maya watched the tactical display, tracking the Valorian withdrawal with a mixture of relief and suspicion. "Captain," Patil interrupted the celebration. "Incoming transmission from the Arbiter." Liaison Zara's face appeared on the main screen, her expression unchanged despite the battle they had just witnessed. "Captain Chen," she greeted Maya. "The Concord acknowledges humanity's successful defense of its system. The Valorians will not trouble you again." "Why do I find that hard to believe?" Maya replied. Zara's lips curved in a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Because you are perceptive, Captain. The Valorians' interest in your system was never about simple conquest. It was about you, humanity itself." Maya frowned. "What are you talking about?" "Your species is unique in our experience. Your genetic adaptability, your cognitive flexibility, your technological innovation rate, they are exceptional. The Valorians recognized this, as did we. So this whole thing was some kind of test?" Maya demanded, anger rising in her voice. "Not a test, Captain. A catalyst." Zara's expression grew serious. "There are forces at work in our galaxy far beyond Valorian aggression, forces that necessitate preparation." "Preparation for what?" You will understand soon enough. Zara's image began to fade. The Arbiter will escort the Valorian remnants from your system as promised. But we will return, Captain Chen. Humanity's journey among the stars is just beginning. The transmission ended, leaving Maya staring at the empty screen, Dr. Mbiki's warning echoing in her mind. Captain, Takahashi said quietly beside her. What was that about? Maya shook her head slowly. I don't know, Commander, but I intend to find out. She turned to address her exhausted but triumphant crew. Stand down from battle stations. Begin damage assessment and casualty reports. As the crew carried out her orders, Maya moved to the viewport, gazing out at the stars beyond. Humanity had survived its first interstellar war, but she couldn't shake the feeling that they had merely scratched the surface of something much larger and more dangerous than they could imagine. In the distance, the Arbiter's crystalline form shimmered against the backdrop of Saturn's rings, mysterious and inscrutable. Watching. Waiting. Evolution's edge. 1 month after the Battle of Saturn, Earth was a planet transformed. The wreckage of Valorian ships had been salvaged for study, yielding technological insights that accelerated human development by decades. Combined with the specifications provided by the Arbiter, humanity was rapidly expanding its capabilities, building new ships and weapons systems at an unprecedented rate. Captain Maya Chen, however, found little time to appreciate these advancements. In the aftermath of the Valorian retreat, she had been reassigned to a new division within Earth Defense Command, the Xenobiological Research Unit, headed by Dr. Aisha Mbeki. Maya stared through the observation window at the laboratory below, where scientists in containment suits examined tissue samples recovered from Valorian casualties. Despite their humanoid appearance, the aliens' internal biology was startlingly different from anything found on Earth. Their cellular structure is fascinating, Dr. Mbeki said, joining Maya at the window. Each cell contains what appears to be a secondary nucleus, an information repository separate from their genetic material. What kind of information? Maya asked. That's the truly remarkable part. Mbeki handed Maya a tablet displaying microscopic images. It's a form of biological data storage, containing what appears to be historical and cultural information. Maya frowned. You're saying they carry their species' history in their cells? More than that, Mbeki replied. We've managed to decode fragments. The Valorians aren't a natural species, Captain. They were engineered, created as biological weapons in a war that occurred millennia ago. Created by whom? Mbeki hesitated. That's where it gets complicated. The data refers to creators called the architects. But there are references to another group called the Seeders who apparently oppose the architects. Maya thought of Lee's and Zara's cryptic words about humanity's uniqueness. And how does humanity fit into this ancient conflict? That's what we're trying to determine, Mbeki admitted. But there's something else you need to see. She led Maya to a secure laboratory deep within the facility. After passing through multiple biometric scanners, they entered a room containing a single stasis chamber. Inside floated what appeared to be a Valorian, though this specimen was smaller than those they had encountered in battle. We recovered this individual from a damaged escape pod, Mbeki explained. Unlike the others, it was in stasis rather than deceased. Brain activity suggests it's fully conscious but paralyzed by the stasis field. Maya studied the alien with a mixture of curiosity and revulsion. Up close, the similarities to humans were more apparent. 2 arms, 2 legs, a recognizable face with eyes, nose, and mouth analogs. Yet the translucent skin revealing pulsing internal organs marked it as undeniably alien. Have you attempted communication? She asked. Yes, but not in the way you might expect. Mbeki gestured to a complex apparatus connected to the stasis chamber. We've developed a neural interface based on Arbiter technology. It allows limited mind-to-mind communication. Maya's eyebrows shot up. You've been reading its thoughts. More like sharing conceptual space, Mbeki corrected. Direct thought transmission is beyond our capabilities, but we can exchange basic concepts and images. And what has it told you? Mbiki's expression grew troubled. It calls itself a seeker, apparently a specialized caste within Valorian society. According to our subject, the Valorian Empire isn't interested in conquest for its own sake. They're searching for something. Let me guess, Maya said grimly. They're searching for us. Mbiki nodded. Not just humans specifically, but for what they call unmodified genetic templates, species that have evolved naturally without engineering. But why? What do they want with us? Survival. The voice came from behind them, causing both women to whirl around. Liz and Zara stood in the doorway, her iridescent skin shimmering under the laboratory lights. Two human security officers flanked her, looking uncomfortable. I apologize for the interruption, Zara said, stepping into the room. She insisted on seeing you, Captain, one of the guards explained. Admiral Wong authorized it. Maya nodded dismissal to the guards, who retreated with evident relief. How did you get past our security? Mbeki demanded. Your security measures are impressive by Earth standards, Zara replied, but rather primitive by ours. She approached the stasis chamber, studying the Valorian with what appeared to be sadness.